When Mary's shop began to grow, she could no longer handle her house chores alone. Her friend Clara introduced her to a young woman named Lisa, who was looking for a job. Lisa looked calm, polite, and hardworking. She spoke softly and smiled often. Mary was happy and quickly employed her as her new maid, thankful to finally have help around the house. The first week went smoothly. Lisa cleaned the house until it sparkled, cooked delicious meals, and treated Mary's little son, Junior, like her own brother. Mary told everyone how lucky she was to have found such a good maid. But strange things soon began to happen, things Mary could not explain. It began one night when Mary woke up to whispers coming from the living room. At first, she thought it was the radio, but when she checked, the house was dark and quiet. Only Lisa's door was open slightly, and a faint voice could be heard inside. Mary peeped through the gap and saw Lisa sitting on the floor, talking softly to herself, her eyes fixed on a dark corner. The next morning, Lisa acted normal, cheerful as always. Mary tried to forget what she saw, telling herself it must have been a dream. But the feeling of unease stayed with her. Even Junior started saying odd things like, "Auntie Lisa talks to shadows at night." Soon, Mary began losing small items, her earrings, her wristwatch, even Junior's toys. Each time, Lisa said she knew nothing about them, and her calm tone made it hard to doubt her. But one day, Mary found her missing bracelet under Lisa's pillow. When she asked about it, Lisa smiled faintly and said, "I was keeping it safe for you." Something about her voice made Mary's heart race. She decided to keep quiet, but deep down, she began to fear the woman living under her roof. One afternoon, a tall old woman came to the gate asking for Lisa. Her eyes were sharp, and her voice sent chills through Mary. "Tell Lisa her time is not yet over," she said before walking away slowly. When Mary told Lisa about the visitor, Lisa froze and refused to speak. That night, she packed her things, but Mary begged her to stay until she found a replacement. Lisa agreed, though her eyes looked empty and cold. From that night, strange noises filled the house, footsteps in the kitchen, whispers in the dark, and doors creaking without wind. Junior started falling sick, crying that the lady with red eyes kept standing by his bed. One morning, while cleaning, Mary noticed that Lisa had locked her room before leaving for the market. Out of curiosity, she used the spare key and opened it. Inside, she found strange drawings on the wall and a small wooden box covered with ashes. When she opened the box, she found pictures of her family, each one marked with red ink. Terrified, Mary threw the box away and decided Lisa had to leave that very night. But before she could speak, Lisa returned home earlier than usual. She looked at Mary calmly and said, "You shouldn't have opened that box." That night, the house was filled with a storm. The lights went out, and thunder shook the roof. Lisa stood at the doorway, her face pale. "You tried to throw me away," she said softly. "But I am not done yet." Mary grabbed Junior and ran out into the rain, shouting for help. By the time neighbors came, Lisa had vanished without a trace. The next morning, only her clothes were found on the floor, soaked and cold. Mary moved out of the house weeks later, still haunted by the memory of her maid's last words. From that day, she learned that not every smiling face hides a kind heart.